Hey, it's Yay for Yarn, and today I'd like to do a little review on these Knit Picks Hawthorne fingering yarns. Thus far I have made a scarf out of this, and I really enjoyed working with this, so I'd like to talk about this yarn a little bit. There are two different varieties of this yarn. It does come in another weight besides fingering, but there's basically two varieties. There is the Kettle dyed, and then this one is just the multicolored one. The Kettle dyed is usually all one solid color, but it has all of these little bits of different shades of that same color. And it gives a really pretty tonal quality and a depth of a texture to your work without having to work in a textured stitch. And you can see the delphinium over here. I believe this color is called delphinium. In this scarf, you can really see how it picks up all those different little shades and variations in that dark rich blue. And this is my double chevron lace scarf pattern. I will put a link to this pattern in the description box. But the multicolored one I have yet to actually knit into something. So I'm very curious to see how the colors come out in this one and what the color pattern looks like when you knit it. This pink is called Turkish Delight, Kettle dyed, and this one is called Vancouver. It has some of these greens and blues in it, and some brown and a little tiny bit of purple mixed in there with it. And this one over here is called Hazelwood. This is some rich bright greens mixed with the same very similar shade of pink to this one, and a little bit of purple even in there. These yarns all have one thing in common, and that is that they have a very high twist to the yarn. And so not only does this keep it from splitting when you're knitting with it, I had a really nice time knitting with this because it does not split when you try to knit into it. And another thing that is great for, that high twist, is lace. Like right here in this example, it gives definition to the lace when you block it. And when it opens up after you block your project, it gives a really nice, clean, smooth look. Unlike a lot of things like mohair that have like that fuzz halo across the surface, and then it kind of smudges out your lace pattern a little bit. All of these Knit Picks Hawthorne yarns are made from superwash wool from Peru, which I love. And because of that high twist, when you wash them, they don't pill hardly at all. Whereas most yarns, you would get a lot of pilling, and it does not look the same as it does when it comes off the needles and gets blocked after you wash it. This yarn looks just as good after you wash it because there's no fuzz that gets loose because of that high twist. And this is also very good for socks because it will be more durable and it'll last longer without wearing out. You get 100 grams or 357 yards in each hank. And my only con about these yarns, they're really pretty, my only con is that they don't come pre-wound. And they come in a hank like this. And the only problem with that is that if you don't have a yarn swift, which I don't because I don't usually buy yarn on a hank, if you don't have a yarn swift, then you have to wind this by hand, which is not the end of the world. I mean, for me it's worth it because they're such nice yarns. But if this came pre-wound, then it would be perfect. I would have nothing negative to say about it. But other than that, it's a really, really nice yarn. And what I did with this one is I already wound this one. Because I don't have a swift, I laid my hank, I opened it up, laid it out over the back of a chair, and then I wound it by hand. And because I wanted this center pole cake of yarn, then after I wound it by hand, then I had my ball that I had made, and then I wound it onto the yarn winder from there. So I hope you go to the Knit Picks website to check out these cool yarns. I will put the link to them in the description box. And I hope you enjoyed this little review, and I'll see you next time. Bye.